Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be going over exponent rules for review for Math 0662. Let's start with the makings of an exponent. An exponent usually has a base, a, and an exponent, b. This can look something like 7 to the third power, x to the second power, or 4 to the y power. Anything like this. However, we can have some special exponents where if we have a number, a, raised to the 0 power, that just becomes 1. Anything raised to the 0 power is just 1, because there's none of it, but in algebra, we can't just have nothing, we have to have 1. Another special type is if we have a number a raised to a negative exponent, but we can just rewrite this as 1 over a to that exponent. Now let's look at some rules. The product rule is when we multiply two numbers with different exponents. If we have a to the b power and we multiply it by a to the c power, we just add those exponents, and this becomes a to the b plus c. As an example, if we have 7 to the fourth power and we multiply that by 7 to the negative sixth power, we add these two exponents, and this becomes 7 to the 4 minus 6, or 7 to the negative 2, and we should rewrite this as 1 over 7 squared. And if you'd like, you can simplify it to 1 over 49. Now, let's look at our second rule, the quotient rule. If we have two numbers being divided by different exponents, we need to do the opposite of the product rule, or subtract these exponents. So this should become a to the b minus c. As an example, if we have 2 cubed divided by 2 squared, we can rewrite this as 2 to the 3 minus 2, which is really just 2 to the 1. The exponent dictates how many of the same number we need to multiply, so we just have 1, 2. Our last rule is if we have a number a raised to the b, but this entire term is now raised to the c power, what we need to do is multiply these exponents, or a to the b times c. As an example, if we have 8 to the fourth power, and we raise that to the third, then we need to multiply these exponents, or 8 to the 4 times 3, which is also 8 to the 12th power. One more thing we can talk about here is changing exponents to roots and vice versa. If we have a to the b over c power, we can convert this to a root form where we have the cth root of a to the b power, and vice versa. As an example, if we have the 7th root of 4 squared, how can we rewrite this in exponent form? Well, we need to take the exponent of the base and place it on top of the fraction, or the numerator, and then place the root in the denominator. And that's about it for exponent rules. Thank you for watching.